We're in Hungary this weekend, but we're not just hungry. We're starving to see the Honeybadger himself back after a year and a half hiatus. It's lights out and away we go for episode 113 of the Eating Asphalt podcast. I mean, I don't care what happens this weekend. This could be the worst race of the year, and it will be the best race of the year, if you know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, dude. We're going to have such a fun time because, like, the main attraction, the guy that we talk about all the time when he's not even in a driver's seat, is actually finally back in a driver's seat. So, I mean, this is just like, if it ends up being a good race, ends up being a good quality, it's just icing on the cake because we already got our like wish of the year.
Like everything has to balance out in the world, and we've been having not even close to a battle for P1 in the drivers or constructors championship.
Inflation,
yeah, it's
Russia,
yeah,
heat waves,
yeah,
bounce out. Danny Rick's back on the grid,
bang, and that's all.
Literally all those bad things evens out. Just this is the one good thing.
Yeah, man. I'm embarrassed to admit the amount of time that I've spent watching Danny Ricciardo highlights. And I'm talking, yeah. I watched the belly flop video in Monaco, his radio messages when he won Monza. Basically all of his radio messages, to be honest.
Tripping balls, mate.
Yeah, tripping balls, mate. Tripping nutsack right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually does. I mean, you kind of forget like how popular of a driver he is. Going back and watching all of his race wins, it only took me about 3 or 4 minutes. as a 9-race winner.
Yeah, only got 8 of them.
Sorry, my apologies. Yeah.
I think the only people happier than us are probably the Drive to Survive documentary crew, because this is, I mean, dude, imagine how happy we are. They have their content. They already most of their time was spent on Danny Ricciardo in the early seasons. Now they have the second half of their entire season figured out between now and probably now and just summer break alone.
Yeah, I wonder if they had any like say in this Nick DeVries canning, because they're like, this has been a super boring year, guys. We need to do something Christian. I know you like your face in the limelight. We will give you an extra full episode of Red Bull and like Danny and you in this if you can them earlier than later. And he's like, fucking duh.
Dude, I like that a lot. Tinfoil Hat gang. That Netflix is kind of pulling the strings behind. Dude, Netflix is telling Helmut Marko what to do. That's how powerful they are.
Dude, and if Helmut Marko is gonna bend the knee to anyone, you know that they got some power. All right. Well, we have a very exciting, obviously, episode that we're pretty jacked up on Mountain Dew for to go through kind of our sectors of the episode. We got our news, our Grand Preview, country fun facts, our gambling paddock, followed by our race predictions. So starting off with the news. Got a lot of news over these past 2 weeks because finally we had a week break, but we are finishing. Nope, we still have another race in July. Wow. Yeah, so we are 3 out of 4 races in July coming through. Our news starting off though, Nick DeVries, as we're talking about the good side of a canning. Let's talk about the bad. Nick DeVries says his goodbye, just says basically like, I'm going to take my absence away from social media, like a lot of things like that. Does post a big picture of himself as a little kid when he does it, kind of an ode to my old racing years. The way he looks now, though, I think he took this picture 2 years ago. He looks very, very not different than he does in this little baby picture.
Yeah, dude, I'll be honest, my take was the exact opposite, where I was like,
dude, he's got a little baby face.
Like, dude, who is this Spanish looking? Like, he looks like Carlos Sainz's cousin, basically. But
it looks like he got like a lot more pale, but like that guy does not look 28. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, fair enough. I was sad for him when I saw this, because it kind of, I think like last time we talked about this, my take was like, look, I mean, he's not a very memorable driver. I can act like I'm gonna miss him, but like it'd be kind of disingenuous. I saw this and I did start feeling kind of bad for him. I was like, man, you know, he's a human being. And then almost like clockwork, right after, like a couple scrolls later, I saw him, Max, and Lando in like off, like taking a picture off the coast of Nice or Monaco or somewhere. And I was like, this guy's doing okay. Like, I don't need to
I think
feel
he's got it. Yeah, he's fine.
yeah, he's probably in a, you know, I don't need to use my energy to feel bad for a guy like Nick DeVries.
I think it's very good. Put it into perspective. Yeah, this guy, right?
Actually, I'm glad
he deserved it.
Walmart version Danny Ricciardo.
Dude, that guy sucks.
Speaking of posts on social media that were very eye-catching, Nico Hulkenberg dyed his hair blonde before the Hungarian Grand Prix. This was a shocker for me. I was like, dude, I know this is his second time where he's strung 3 Q3 appearances in a row. And I think the guy's just getting a little bit of like confidence and momentum, but you can't get so much confidence that you look like a Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, this is definitely like, hey, fellow kids, I'm hip and I'm cool too. But I also think this timing kind of lines up almost perfectly though, because Barbie comes out Friday. It's like an ode to Ken, I'm pretty sure. Like if I had to guess, this is like a Ken, hey, look, I'm good looking guy, just like Ken. Look at our platinum blonde hair.
Yeah, dude. Barbie and Oppenheimer. So someone check on Yuki.
Oh God, dude, there's gonna be a fire this weekend, isn't there?
Can you imagine the Barbie and Oppenheimer weekend?
Yeah, he's like, I got mine out of the way. I'm safe. It's fine. It's like someone else is gonna be in big trouble though.
Oh, we are going to hell.
Anyways, Red Bull. This is gonna be the not fun part of the weekend that I think. So obviously upgrade talk, the only team that I wish we never heard an upgrade talk about would be Red Bull. Unfortunately, it seems like they are bringing some upgrades with a side pod, expected to give them an extra 0.2 strength, like quicker, which is insane to what they're already, like their gap is already to everyone else. This is the biggest scary. They said the side pod is like looks drastically different. I'm like the pit of my stomach. I read this, and the first thing I thought was they're going to come out and it's going to look exactly like the old Ferrari side pods. Like it's going to be like so fucked up where they're like, dude, they had it. They just fucked up other areas, and they're like, oh, no. Like we got to move the side pod, and they moved it back to Ferrari. Looks gorgeous, and they're just like so much faster. They're like, these idiots had it, and they just blew it up.
The ultimate troll. Where they're
like, my God, dude. I saw that and I was like, this is going to be my life. Like, it's going to look very similar to these beautiful old Ferrari side pods, and they're going to just absolutely dominate, and I'm going to throw up.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. My thought when I saw this, I was just like, I just DM'd Red Bull Racing on Instagram. I just said, please don't, because we don't need that. Like,
for the people.
Yeah. It's like, guys, your drivers probably don't even want this. Like, Max probably wants more of a fight. You know,
Sergio does, because he's like, I would like to, like, I don't know, like make it to Q3, maybe Q2 sometimes.
Dude, he's gonna go too fast with these new side pods.
Dude, he's gonna. This is the Oppenheimer part. It's all coming together.
If someone hits Yuki Tsunoda on the track and like his car catches fire, then I'm convinced that F1 is just like a media marketing machine tool rather than a real sport.
It's like the ads after every single break is like both of these movies coming out.
Yeah. What else we got? Oh, big news here. Some monkey business again with the cost cap. It was Stefano Domenicali saying like, hey, we need to put like actual punishments on these teams, not just financial penalties, but like you need to lose like a grid spot or like one or two spots in your standing for both the drivers and constructors. Some wild ideas are getting thrown out there. My question to you is, 3 teams have been accused. Give me your 3 teams if you had to predict which teams they were.
I have 2 I'm pretty confident on. And then I'm going to throw a wild card in there. Aston Martin 1, your boys McLaren 2. It just has to be, dude. They can't go from the worst team on the grid during like practice session and like preseason testing to like where they just ended up. They're just like, there's something afoot. And we said this last episode, but now it's starting to come to fruition a little bit. That doesn't seem right. My third one, I'm going to go with like AlphaTauri, because they're like, they've been getting a lot of heat. They suck. And they were like, throw money. And they're like, where? They're like, everywhere. I don't know. It didn't work, but I think they just were spinning stuff. They're like, we just got to look like we're doing something.
Yeah. My three are, I think Red Bull again. I think that they're
Fuck yeah, dude.
they got their like, $58 fine, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna do that again, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Too much money.
Oh, whoops.
Red Bull, Aston Martin, definitely not McLaren, obviously.
Yeah, no, dude.
I understand how people might be saying it's a little bit of suspicious timing when they get on the podium, when they were typically like out of the points, and then all of a sudden cost cap stuff comes
It's
out.
like a rocket ship.
Listen, I get it.
I get it, but I know they didn't.
In some kind of parallel universe, I could see it maybe happening.
Yeah.
But my third one is actually Ferrari. I don't think management of much is
Okay, kind of similar to my AlphaTauri. He's just like, okay. These goddamn Italians, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. My people,
they're just not
idiots.
Managing tires, not great at managing strategy, not great at managing personnel. You could throw money in there, and I guess I just wouldn't be surprised. So third one's Ferrari. But man, I can't see it. This is like a murder mystery where we get to like wait with bated breath, like, oh boy, who won it? Who done it?
I really hope that like these principals, when they start talking this weekend, that they're starting to like secretly do this real principles of Formula. This is where this really starts getting heated. Our episode of Real Principles of Formula One, of just like the side. I know some principals at some point, once like a slight finger kind of is pointed, not direct, but they're going to put a little like, oh, could be someone over there. Right when one principal gets that, he's going to be like, nope, this guy, and this guy. I know, and I just want everyone to start Spider-Man meme and every single Formula One principal pointing themselves. You did it.
I'm not worried about any of this. It was this guy.
It was just, I saw catering my.
All right, quickly, just let me get this one out of the way too. Speaking of money, there's a movie star on the grid again. We have Brad Pitt. Sonny Hayes is the character he's playing. I guess they're just going on tour. I thought this was going to be just a kind of one and done where they get all their shots in Britain when they race last go around. But is he just going on tour with them? Because if his life wasn't already dope enough, arguably one of the most beautiful men on the planet, movie star, and has been for decades, movie star for decades, movie star lifestyle. And now he just gets to like cosplay as a Formula One driver and drive F2 cars on track and hang out with the F1 drivers. Like there has to be a line of how incredible one human's life can get. And Brad Pitt is rapidly approaching that line.
Yeah, he's teetering that line. He's gets all the rewards of driving in some of the nicest motorsport vehicles in the world, and none of the risk. He just gets to drive for fun, like look cool, feel cool, act cool, and that's it. There's no pressure. He gets out. Like it's just a fantastic lifestyle. I'm curious if, like, you always see the drivers like kind of pairing together on flights and stuff. If he's hopping on board with some of these drivers, like, hey, do you mind? You guys got room for one more? Just hopping on these PJs. I could see him just being like, nah, I'm a PJ myself kind of guy. Because why the f not? It's Brad Pitt. But dude, like that's pretty sick that he's got this setup here. And I wonder if he was the one that was like, yeah, maybe we just do a couple more, huh? I don't know. I don't want to go back home to the States. I have kids.
Dude, he has a lot of kids, doesn't he? So
a lot of kids.
The reasons.
Yeah. So he's probably like, oh no, dude, we didn't get they're like, Brad, great. Like Silverstone was incredible. We got all the shots. He's like, I don't know. I think we need a couple more shots actually.
He's like, you know what else is cool though?
Let's hit the road, boys.
The Hungaro ring could really bring it home as far as what we're trying to get here.
They're like, we filmed all weekend. Not a single shot was used for this movie.
It's like the camera crew didn't even show up. They had to do other stuff.
Just keep showing up on this goddamn car. Formula One just requests a restraining order of Brad Pitt. Dude, this guy, we cannot keep giving him his own garage.
They revoke his paddock.
All right. Yeah. All right. Speaking of stars in Formula One, our child, Nicholas Latifi, back in the news, also doing a lovely post similar to Nick DeVries. He said basically opposite. Hey, I'm coming back from social media after a big hiatus. Wonder why that was. And I just wanted to let you know, I've been, if I didn't pursue a career in racing, I would have done business. That was like how he phrased it. He's like, I was always into business. I was like, what does that even mean? So he's like, with that being said, I'm going to be doing my MBA. So he's going back to school. And my God, he seems like that guy that would 100% at his age, I'm guessing he's probably around 28 or so, that is raising his hand being like, Professor, you forgot to turn in we forgot to like take in the reports.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely a, you forgot to collect the homework kind of guy. My take on this is that I feel bad for him just because of like the that he got, but this guy, I feel bad for him because he comes back from social media. This guy can't post anything without the Lewis Hamilton brigade swarming him and saying how he was like paid off for Red Bull for crashing in Abu Dhabi in 21. Like he's just immediately attacked by a swarm of angry wasps as soon as he hits post. But good for him for getting his MBA.
He's trying to get his MBA.
That's true. Yeah, he started.
I mean, he could be like, I think he's going to get like maybe like probably a semester left, and then he just crashes out. I think he burns out. And that's it. And then someone else comes in and sweeps in and just takes it. The guy that his partner that he was working with, he was supposed to be like the valedictorian. He just doesn't do the homework. He doesn't get it. And then some other guy comes in, and then all those guys that's supposed to be valedictorian, all his family and friends hate him.
I
know
mean,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what I'm saying. His dad is the CEO of Sofina Foods, I think. Or yeah, I think that's what it is. Like it's like a Cisco or like a big foods company, like one of the biggest in Canada.
He was a money driver. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think he really needs to get his MBA. I think he's probably, it's like you could probably get most of the jobs you wanted, but again, good for him. Hope he doesn't spin out toward the end and burn out.
Good luck in getting your MBA in business, as he is just so excited to do.
Yeah. All right. 2 more points in news that I want to get across. One is just a stat that I saw and I was kind of annoyed by and wanted to share. So Max Verstappen has averaged 25.4 points per race weekend when you factor in sprint race points. That sucks.
You can't do that.
No, you're not.
I don't think you should do. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Can you? Is he allowed to do this?
I think it should be maxed out at 25 max.
Yeah.
Yeah, max is maxed.
Yeah, he should get penalties.
Yeah, dude, this is fucked.
Or how about this? Every time he's averaging more than 25 points, which is what you get for a race win. Every time he's averaging more than that and he gets another race win, he has to give out 5 points to whoever on the grid deserves it. Fan vote, driver of the day. Extra. He shaves 5 points off his total, gives them to Valtteri Bottas just for being a good guy.
Okay, so he's at 25.4 now. What do you think? Like, let's little guesstimate. What is the end at the end of the year? It can't be higher. It's like you can't.
So
he's only lost 2 races.
There's a couple sprint races left though. So like,
yeah, there is, but
can be higher.
Do you think he doesn't win more than 2 races for the rest of the season?
No.
Dude, he's got to lose more than that too. We need a little bit more chaos here, dude. I don't want to see if he moves up from 25.4, that's gonna suck.
Anyway, let's stop talking.
Anyways.
All right. I texted you about it today. Because I saw, we'll put in this clip too. There was a video showing how an F1 race starts. And the way it starts is this one guy presses the same button twice. One button turns on the 5 blinking lights, beep, 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 beep. And then he presses it again to turn all the lights off, and it's lights out and away we go. Okay? With me?
Yeah, I got that part.
Okay. That same green. So when he presses the button the second time, it's always within 1 second or 1.5 seconds, right? So you don't know exactly when, but you know pretty damn close to like when it's going to happen. What I'm proposing is you give start button guy way more of a leash, so that instead of like pressing it like directly after all the lights light up, he has up to, let's call it 60 seconds to press it whenever he wants. Okay.
Oh god.
What you have is just absolute electricity at the start, as if F1 starts weren't already like exciting enough. These drivers are having to stay like locked and loaded and like anxious and ready to go for, let's call it like 35 seconds. Imagine what that feels like for 35 seconds. Like you're lined up, grid, all the lights are on, and all you're waiting for is for them to go off. Like some people's guard's going to get let down. Maybe we don't see Max take off every single time, except for Britain when Lando got him. But I think that's like, what an electric, you just feel the energy, dude. Even watching it, you're just like waiting, just like,
yeah, no, I think that's the case after like the first 10 seconds. But dude, like if this guy, this bastard puts it to 50 seconds, dude, that's gonna feel, it will not feel fun. I'm telling you, dude. After 30 seconds, I'm like, dude, start the race. Click the button.
It's must-see television, dude. 45 seconds, 45 seconds of just waiting and like waiting with bated breath.
I'm 100% on that, but I want drivers to start from the garage and they have to run into the car and hop in and go. I think then I'm sold.
I'm telling you,
all drivers are lined up in the garage, like they're like all behind a line, like and they're just looking, and then like some driver thinks he's like, oh, watch this, and then they get to run a little bit, kind of like the old F1 days.
Down. I think the button pusher should be on a screen in front of the drivers. So like, like he doesn't push it, that people get psyched out.
He like touches it, but like doesn't hit it hard enough.
Okay. Good.
Oh, dude.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Good, I'm in.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. That's sick. That's sick.
All right. Well, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Let's get from the news and get on to our Grand Preview of the Hungaroring in Budapest, Hungary. All right. So we typically try to stay away from talking about like history of a Grand Prix when we're talking about the track, just because it's a little bit less exciting. But because of the things that have been posted on social media and because of all like the memories here, I thought it'd just be nice to take a very, very brief little jaunt down memory lane. So 2009 Drivers' Championship, Drivers' Champion Jenson Button got his first win here in Hungary back in 2006. It was Lewis Hamilton's first win with Mercedes back in 2013. Williams, remember when Williams went through a 2-year-long drought of points? It was their longest drought ever as a team. That was ended here when Williams got a double points finish back in 2021. And that was only possible because that was the race where Valtteri Bottas just went bowling and it took out like 4 or 5 drivers within one hit. I think he hit Lando, who hit Max, and someone else hit Sergio because he was swerving. So it was just mayhem. And then that led to Esteban Ocon getting his first and only win in Hungary in 2021. So all that to say, this track has seen some really cool shit. And yeah, let's just talk about the track here. So 14 turns we're going around, 4.4 kilometer circuit, pretty short, which means we're going to have more laps. So we got 70 laps going on, one of the shorter circuits of the year. I think only second to Monaco. Don't quote me on that, but I think either second or third shortest circuit that we're going to race this year. 1 DRS detection zone, 2 DRS zones. So interesting, at the very kind of like end of the circuit, right before the pit straight, they track you to see if you're a second behind. And then if you're not, you can get DRS all the way down the pit straight and then around the corner. And then again, into turn 2. So it's kind of like a long DRS zone that's split by 2. This track doesn't have a lot of straights. So people compare it to like a karting track. So cars are going to be running pretty high downforce packages. So kind of like think of Monaco, right? You don't have a lot of like straight line speed. Pure straight line speed is going to matter less. It's going to be less of a factor. I wish I could say that, oh, well, Red Bull has really good straight line speed. So maybe that's going to, cause a little bit of competition. But I think we've all been watching the season and I don't want to get too unrealistic about that. So, but yeah, high downforce packages. These cars are going to be just glued to the ground. There's going to be a lot of sparks flying off of these bad boys and it's going to make for some cool pictures. So weather, a little drizzle on Friday, high of 85. should be clear for quali. Like rain should be before and after quali, but high of 83. So track conditions are going to be kind of interesting there, depending on how rain pans out. And then all sun and clear skies on Sunday, high of 86. So yeah, it's not gonna be a Valtteri nightmare where it's raining and Valtteri takes out half the grid again, which I think I would prefer, because this track, it's just fun to watch these cars and the level of downforce that they can have. They look like they are, just completely like Velcroed as they go around these kind of like high speed corners. So all that to say, this should be a banger. Always is. And cool track. Very cool. Like really cool mountains around it. Budapest is super beautiful. I think this is like northeast of Budapest. But only like 20-25 minutes. So beautiful city, beautiful track. Let's hope for a beautiful race.
Lovely. Fantastic. I wasn't excited for this race until that amazing Grand Preview.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our country fun facts. I'll go first. Budget. Okay. Country fact number 1 of Hungary, birthplace of Harry Houdini. Similar to Harry Houdini, rumor has it, Ian has a disappearing act planned right before he's set to get married.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Houdini is one of your signature moves back in college, if I remember correctly.
I do remember that being a sex act. I don't know what it means. I don't think it's probably very good.
Look it up on Urban Dictionary.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm on my work computer. All right, country fact number 2. Tomb of Attila the Hun. Remember old Till?
I remember Tilly Bean.
So only thing I really remember of him is he was pretty sick in Night at the Museum. And my country fun fact number 3. All right. So this is actually, major cities in Hungary participate in something called Lomtelenis, which it means bulk waste collection. I actually visited Budapest during this time, and basically they just get all their like trash and stuff they don't want that are way too big to throw in the trash. They put it in the streets. So when I came for a full day, no one really explained what was going on, and I was like, this is a third world country, because the streets were littered with just garbage. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing here? It was a good day and a half in. They're like, oh yeah, this is like a national thing that people do. We just get rid of like old couches, chairs, big trash, all this stuff. And it smelled, and I was like, dude, this is worth. But ended up being just a lovely place in general. Just was pretty confused. Didn't like that whole fun fact. But yeah, just in case, look it up. See if you're going to go during that weekend. Be prepared. It's not a third world country.
So you just went to Hungary during trash week? They're like, oh, you can't.
Dude, I guess, dude. They should fucking put signs up everywhere saying, don't worry, it's not a problem. We got it figured out. We know what we're doing.
All right. Good stuff. Well, we didn't overlap on fun facts. So
you didn't go to bulk waste collection day?
I didn't do that.
Weird. I thought I saw you there.
All right. My country fun facts are that Hungary is home of the Rubik's Cube. So how about that? Were you a big Rubik's? You seem like a guy who picked up a Rubik's Cube, tried it out, and then gave up after 15 minutes of YouTube videos.
I didn't watch YouTube videos, but I gave up after 15 minutes. That thing. Dude, I saw that dude that broke the record like last month or something. What a freak.
I called you out as a projection because that's exactly what I did. I did the whole YouTube rabbit hole thing of like, I can figure out how to do this. Like, I'm a smart enough guy. Some of my stupider friends have it figured out. And so like, I can do it. And I remember like watching 2 YouTube videos and being like, nope, not for me. This is dumb.
Yeah. It was Rubik's Cubes and it was yo-yoing tricks. Those were the 2 things that I was like, I'm pretty sure I can figure this out. And I was like, this is for nerds.
Hungary is a big nudist place. So big on nudity. Played a significant role in the early nudist movement of the early 1900s. So we got to look into that.
All right. So I went.
And then the last one that I saw, Hungary is home of the Commandor dog. Do you know what the Commandor dog looks like?
Please tell me.
It's the dog who looks most likely to sell you marijuana. So let me try to put.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The shaggy dog, dude. He looks like a mop.
Dude.
He's like a big, big mop. That's like a boy.
This is a stupid podcast.
Shut up.
So yeah, I saw that dog. I actually saw that dog in person walking down the street in Denver, and I was like, "Get out of here! Look at that dog. It's got dreadlocks, and it was white. So white dreadlocks is cultural appropriation."
Or did you go up to him and you're like, "Are you from Hungary?" Not a Hungarian accent at all, but I didn't know what to go with.
All right.
Hey, little pop-up.
Okay, let's move on from country fun facts into our gambling paddock.
Sweet mercy. All right, gambling paddock. We got get these out of the way. Oh, all right. So our gambling, just to update everyone what's going on here. I have $526, so a good just over a unit from our starting position, and $214. So you guys can do the math there. Gambling. Ian, would you like to go?
I would like to go. We tried the positive. We tried the plus signs last week. Didn't go well. Guess what, though? I'm not going to go negatives this week because that's what they want me to do.
Yeah, don't stop, dude. That's what the big gambling wants.
When they want you to zig, that's when you have to zag, basically. There's a little tip about Vegas. This one's for free. So my gambling paddock is under 17.5 cars to finish this race at plus 140 for 1 unit.
Nice.
Lock of the century.
That's easy.
And then this next one is plus 400 here. Winning margin. Need to make up some ground because been falling behind. Minor setback for a major comeback. Winning margin between 6 and 10.99999 seconds. We
honestly, that's not I mean, it's not crazy.
I didn't think 400. I didn't think so either, but
interesting.
Plus 400. I feel good about this, dude. McLaren's doing well. We're definitely not cheating, so there's nothing to worry about there. And we are going to start winning some bets now.
Oh man, I like them. I'm going to go the exact opposite. I'm going to start. I got to chip back away. I lost a lot from betting Lance Stroll last week. Max fastest lap minus 155. I mean, with these upgrades and with it seems he's not like he's a guy that's like I want to get fastest lap every game after every race. Like he's not just content with the win. He wants that. So that is like I think pretty decent money there. And then Lewis Hamilton over Fernando Alonso minus 120. So
I like
that was a push, but they both had minus 120. And Aston Martin just hasn't looked too great. I know that they're probably going to be looking fantastic this week, but so 1 unit on both on those. So fingers crossed.
Is that in quali or for the race?
For the race.
For the race. All right.
Yeah.
Notification. All right. Well, let's make some money. You're welcome for the picks, everyone. They'll
Shout out. We got a couple. Yeah, dude. Got a couple underdogs. Got a couple favorites. Mix and match around for the people.
All right. And finally, let's move on to our last sector, our race predictions. All right. Race predictions. As it stands right now, Marco is leading me 19-10. So not even doubling me, loser. Who do we think will crash or DNF? Give me Carlos Sainz for a crash or DNF. He's due. Give me Max Verstappen for a win. Lock. Last place, I'm going to say Guan Yu Zhou. I wanted to say Danny Ricciardo for an emotional hedge, but I'm not going to do that. Driver of the day, for sure, give me Danny Ricciardo. Douche of the day, Yuki Tsunoda for being mad that Danny Ricciardo is receiving all the attention. Wild card prediction, Danny Ricciardo in the points. Fastest lap, Max. Pole position, Max. How many cars don't finish? 2.
Hey, we had a lot of overlap, so I'm going to have to think on my feet here. Who do you think will crash or DNF? I'm going to go with K-Mag. Just had a baby. Does not care about this race at all. Did see that it was 9 months after he got pole. So he definitely got lucky that night. Shout out K-Mac. Congratulations on the sex. Winner, Sergio Perez. Last place, Danny. Driver of the day, Max. I think he's going to win by 24 seconds. Douche of the day, Danny. Wildcard prediction, Red Bull will not win this race. Fastest lap, Sergio Perez. Pole, Fernando Alonso. How many cars do not finish? 3.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, this is a good one, folks. This is a good one, folks.
All right, everybody. Danny, there's an air of Danny Ricciardo that's just in, you can feel it and you can taste it and smell it. Smells like Australia. And this is, no matter how you slice it, like you said at the beginning, this is just going to be a great race. We get to see our boy driving back on the grid. It's only been 6 months since he's been gone. It's felt like 3 years. And yeah, outside of that, this track is awesome. Place is awesome. I don't know, man. Let's just get racing.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
It's gonna be a good weekend. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you, assholes.
The assholes.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
I used to say I lived my life a quarter mile at a time. And I think that's why we were brothers. Because you did too.